When I came here 1 week ago, I had lots of problems with pain and I was totally sleepless. I only slept 1 hour the night and had an enormous tremor. And after this week, I'm already a big step better. The sleep increased, the pain went a little bit down. And I had a lot of treatments here. The Panchakarma, Ayurveda, Abhyanga. We also learn here the right diet and the right lifestyle, how to meditate, how to do yoga. And I also had the Mama therapy with Dr. Sunil, and it's really fantastic. You can't describe it. It's very, very, very helpful for the pain. And I'm absolutely sure when I leave this place, my condition will be much better. And I also think that I will be painless or nearly painless and that I can walk. It was about 10 meters when I came here. And I'm absolutely sure that I will leave this place in a much better condition because it's not the first time I'm here. I come back regularly and I always have a great effort here.
The Evangelical Hospital, Hattingen, Germany. This hospital is renowned for its treatment of Parkinson's disease. The Department of Neurology and Complementary Medicine, established in 2019, integrates 2 medical systems, such as Western medicine, based on neurobiological research, and Ayurveda, a 5,000-year-old traditional system of medicine. In 2019, the hospital found that 7,650 Parkinson's patients had benefited from Ayurveda. These patients had adopted it as a complementary treatment alongside allopathy. The success of this combined therapy has drawn patients from across Europe and the Middle East. The hospital treats patients with Parkinson's disease, Parkinson plus syndromes, and other movement disorders. Those patients suffering from multiple sclerosis, chronic pain, restless leg syndrome, and rare neurological diseases are also treated here. A multidisciplinary team provides various treatment options, including yoga, meditation, physiotherapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy, psychological support, massage, and specialized Ayurvedic therapies such as Panchakarma and Marma therapy. The patients follow a vegetarian Ayurvedic diet on receiving personalized nutritional guidance. Ayurvedic herbs and formulations are prescribed both internally and externally, depending on individual needs. Here, both allopathic and Ayurvedic doctors make joint patient visits. Each year, they treat an average of over 450 Parkinson's patients using complementary methods.
So could you please tell me, Dr. Sandeep, what treatment it was?
Yeah, we did Udvartana treatment for her legs and we are doing that since 4 days. Today was the 5th day. And for upper body, we have done Abhyanga and Shirabhyanga treatment. And that's also today is the 5th day of the treatment what we did for her.
I'm Nicole Hirsch. I have multiple sclerosis diagnosis. I came here for Ayurveda treatment for 6 years and it helps me to feel better in my movements and my whole body to have more power for walking and the meals helps me, the medicine, the whole. Is for my balance and to feel me better. In
2009, I opened the department for neurology and complementary medicine in the Evangelisches Krankenhaus in Hattingen. There, this combination was very successful. The patients had a lot of profit from this combined treatment.
Since the Ayurvedic culture is entirely different, which is and deeply embedded with Indian culture, we had to educate the Germans in different ways, especially the different types of foods and all those things. So actually here, we cannot say that this is only a hospital. This is actually a school, Ayurvedic school, where the patients learn about Ayurvedic diet, Ayurvedic way of living, and they learn yoga, they practice yoga, and all those things. So with these things, we can reverse. It is possible to reverse the disease, Parkinson's disease.
On the one hand, we think that in this combined holistic approach, we finally improve the quality of life of the patients. Concretely, in Parkinson's disease, we also observed that we can improve motor symptoms as well as non-motor symptoms. And sometimes we have symptoms like olfactory dysfunction, hyposmia, which we can treat well with Ayurvedic treatments, but not that well with Western medicine.
The first patients I have treated with Ayurveda wanted to have Ayurveda food, and especially butyric acid, and she became sane. It was after 5 years, she was without any Parkinsonian design. That convinced me very much to use it also in Hattingen, this method.
One of a study on olfactory dysfunction provide the results that the sense of smell in Parkinson patients when treated with Ksheerabala Nasya, which followed by Vasti treatments, show significant improvement in the sense of smell. And also, this sense of smell has been objectively evaluated with the help of standardized sniffing tests. Another study demonstrates that Ayurveda diet and Vasti treatment can influence positively the gut microbiome of Parkinson patients. The pattern of the gut bacterial flora has shifted from unhealthy to healthy. And also patients showed significant improvement in movement their movements like UPDRS movement scale.
The clinical syndrome of Parkinsonism was recognized in ancient India even before the time of Christ and was treated systematically. Ayurvedic treatments in Kerala aim to restore Vata balance, addressing neural pathway dysregulation alongside genetic predisposition. It's interesting to note the cross-sectional experimental profile of a longitudinal study undertaken by Ayurveda Pharmacy, Coimbatore, on the efficiency of Ayurvedic treatment for rheumatoid arthritis.
There were 4 groups actually. One group was getting only Ayurveda, one group was getting allopathic medicines, another group placebo, both, and one group was getting both the medicines, Ayurveda and allopathy together. But among this group, those who were having pure Ayurveda was shown good results actually.
We have been continuing the whole effort in creating evidence-based in Ayurveda for rheumatoid arthritis by implementing a multicentric trial called AMRA, where Ayush, AVP and other institutions of CCRS is implementing a multicentric trial on rheumatoid arthritis.
WHO considers traditional medicine very importantly, and Ayurveda is a part of that. And Ayurveda is a part of the codified health systems across the globe, which has major impact on population's health. We understand that Ayurveda has different versions of Ayurvedic knowledge has spread across Southeast Asia and really supports more than 2 billion people.
If you look at the recent survey by the government of India, over 50% of people in India use traditional medicine, such as Ayurveda and yoga, as part of their healthcare journey. They use these systems to stay healthy, manage diseases, and to improve their overall well-being.
Ayurveda recognizes that, like natural phenomena, human physiology should follow specific rhythms. The balance of the 3 doshas, Kapha, Pitta, and Vata, changes with life stages, seasons, and even daily cycles. Therefore, Ayurveda prescribes Dinacharya, daily routine, and Ritucharya, seasonal regimen, to maintain health, making it adaptable to diverse climates worldwide.
it has a geo global presence, and it's relevance also. So wherever you are, wherever in the part of, even if you are in Antarctica to the middle of the Sahara Desert, Ayurveda has definite advice as to how to manage your health. So it is relevant in all parts of the world, in all kinds of weathers and conditions. And so it is relevant.
Ayurvedic formulations are derived from herbs, animal products, minerals and metals. Rasa Shastra, a branch of Ayurveda, deals with mercury and other metals, minerals, precious stones, poisonous and semi-poisonous substances, discussing their purification and medicinal applications.
We are using mercury, we are using arsenic compounds, we are using lead as a raw material. The raw material what we are purchasing from the field, from the market, is undergoing at least 2.5 month procedure, a series of 8 procedures to purify the mercury. Purify the mercury doesn't mean that to attain a chemical purity of mercury. So after purifying the mercury, we are producing the drug out of that mercury by combining with so many other things. It's a very series of procedure, very complicated procedure. At the end, we are getting very good medicines. If that medicines we are using in a particular dose, the pharmacological dose, with a strict diet and regimen, and if it is logically advised by a doctor, it doesn't create any problem to any person.
The process of Basmikarana, incineration, detoxifies metals before use.
One paper published in Synchrotron Radiation about the assessment of Rasa Sindhura. Rasa Sindhura means it's a product manufacturing from mercury and sulfur together. So we are purifying the mercury, purifying the sulfur, and combining together by grinding and adding so many types of juices into that. So chemically, it will be a form of black sulfate of mercury plus extra sulfur. And from this, by repeated sublimation method, we will get red sulfate of mercury. This red sulfate of mercury we call Rasa Sindhura in that stage. It's not equal to chemically prepared red sulfate of mercury. And in different diseased condition, in Ayurveda advice us to give in different herbal media. So at the end, we are preparing a herbo-mineral preparation, and these things we are advising to give to the patients.
A 2023 research paper advocated Rasayana therapy as an effective approach in treating a 74-year-old cancer patient. Rasayana therapy uses nanobiocompatible herbometallic complexes for treatment. The formulations included purified metals like arsenic, copper, gold, silver, iron and mercury. The global demand for Ayurvedic products has necessitated stringent quality control. Advanced analytical methods ensure consistency, detect microbial contamination, and assess pesticide residues and heavy metals. The new Ayurvedic product testing laboratory provides modern and advanced analytical facilities that help manufacturing units scale up their production.
I think Ayurveda has more than enough clinical evidence with 600,000 Ayurveda physicians in India and 600 colleges. I think we have enough evidence. If you're able to look at it, you will see enough evidence.
Registration the product as a medicine, it is a tough job. Huge regulation. All the nations separate the rules and regulation. That regulation authority we can properly study, and government of India also slowly understand this area. Now that is we can invest more money, invested our area to the whole embassy level and communicate the Ayurveda system. What is a benefit of the system also? We communicate the embassy level, government also started the embassy level, and how to a regulation is possible. Some Germany and some area is also Ayurveda, some products also regulated now. The main reason how to the regulation properly, their own country's situations, the problem as per the medicine, that we can able to register properly, then we can as a fund a future good market.
Our treatments like Panchakarma, they're very laborious, so I need a lot of staff, and it needs a lot of cleaning, it needs a lot of material, so they are quite expensive therapies. The insurance, they are paying some part of it, but still if somebody comes with a major health problem and longer treatments are needed, it is very difficult to cover it.
We are all aware that thousands of people arrive in India having panchakarma and therapeutic wellness. I would use this word therapeutic because they come for treatment of difficult to treat disorders and they get benefited. So it's all, now we want to create an ecosystem of evidence-based practices. So we have a lot of practice-based evidences. Now we want to also come further and want to create evidence-based practices so that it's authenticated, it's science-based, contemporary science, it's already science, but contemporary science, having evidences, etc. So that the authentication is done, quality comes in. So for example, we have initiated, an ecosystem with NMBH. So we work with Quality Council of India, and there are more than 300 hospitals which is accredited by Quality Council of India, NMBH accreditation.
We are also working with overseas insurance companies. We are trying to bring them and make them understand into our knowledge as a knowledge partner. We are talking to many European countries, and we have a lot of platforms which are now today, like for example, EBTC is working with Ayush Export Import Council. So we are trying to promote also healthcare as a product, as a service globally, where insurance companies cover their patients who have insurance cover, policyholders who come to India for Ayush treatment. We are also trying to set up Ayush treatment centers overseas, where trained people will be taken to those countries and given this care. And they have also option, and they get covered by insurance companies also. So we want to bring in fair competition because, as you know, the best friend of a consumer is competition.
52 general insurance companies are now ready to insurance coverage for the Ayurvedic industry. So Ayurveda, within a short time, very good future and investment, and CGMP type of the factories that government is planning now develop. Their government Ayush also funding also to develop the existing factory to current good manufacturing practice, and COPP as per the norms of the international COPP develop, so we can able to register this product international level and the conference level. Definitely Ayurveda is a good future within a short time.
Many meetings, especially with the insurances, to convince them that they pay to us the treatment with Ayurveda medicine, yes. And on the other hand, we had also meeting with the Ministry of Health, and I had to convince them also that Ayurveda could be useful in the treatment, and it was a lot of work to convince them.
One of the medical doctor, he was also in Ayurvedic point. His wife was a pharmacist. So he had an idea. Why can't we start a Ayurvedic pharmacy with an Italian product plants, not with the Indian medicinal plants? So they started a small manufacturing called Ayurveda Italiana. And they started small products. Now they have 60 products officially registered in Italy. So they have a lot of, like our Ashtajurnam, they have a powder.
Yes, it's not been easy in the last years because the European laws have been changing in this aspect. So a lot of medicines that were on the market, they disappeared basically because the companies stopped exporting to Portugal and to European Union. But I think slowly some Indian companies are, developing all the things that are needed to be done to comply with the laws of the European Union. And now we are slowly getting back, but it's a slow process. We can see that. So what we do, it's available on the market right now. We have some what we call the single herbs. So these are available. Triphala is also available as a compound, and some other small compounds we also find. And we also complement with some local herbs. Sometimes we resort to what we have to work, and definitely whatever it is on the diet side, we advise, because the spices are all available in Portugal. There is a big Indian community as well, which helps because we have access to the spices in this sense. So we use that in the diet, and we go on the lifestyle and the diet first, and then we complement with medicines where it is needed.
The problem in Germany is because we don't have enough studies, or because it's not accepted by the German government, it's not covered by the health insurance, and that makes it very expensive for the patients. So that's a problem. But the health insurance, they need studies which we can't offer from the Ayurvedic point of view. Because what we do in Ayurveda is that we have a very individual treatment. So I can't say headaches, aspirin. It doesn't work. That's not the Ayurvedic way of thinking. You have to see, is it a Vata person, Pitta person, Kapha person? What kind of headache is it? How is the Agni? So everybody gets a different treatment. And then again, the German health insurance won't accept this. They want to have a standardized treatment for everyone the same. And actually, Ayurveda can't do it and shouldn't do it. That's the advantage of Ayurveda, that we have individual treatment. So I think we won't be successful that it will be covered by the health insurance.
Recently, Commerce Ministry has, agreed to have establishment of Ayush Export Promotion Council. So if there is some Export Promotion Council, usually we infer that it is for the products. But Ayush Export Promotion Council is unique, that it is also taking care of exports of products and also services. So if somebody comes to India having treatment, is also export of services. Or somebody goes outside of India as a human resource, is also export of human resource in the terms of expertise. So it has a bigger scope, and Ayush Excel has already started working in this area.
This integrated cancer treatment and research centre in Pune, a Government of India recognised centre of excellence, integrates chemotherapy, radiotherapy and surgery with Ayurveda to improve the quality of life of cancer patients.
We have started the integrated cancer project, which is our goal that patients should get some relief. So we have started this with collaboration of Dr. Arvind Kulkarni, modern oncologist, and still we have got good results. We have gone through 14,000 cancer patients and 10 patents and 40 research papers we have published that.
When I was in Bombay Hospital, head of the oncology department, I came in contact with Sardeshmukh Maharaj. That was a great yoga yog, I think, because our patients under radiation treatment were having a lot of reactions and loss of hair, loss of appetite, all these things. And then we jointly formed a cancer research project. Because he said that only Ayurveda is good, we all know, but we have to document it and research, do it, prove. So with the help of myself, Dr. Sardeshmukh, his son, and other team, started working on that. And almost last 25, 30 years, we have accumulated so much data with trials which were conducted with a modern medical background. So there is a lot of data is available, and I can certainly say that Ayurveda is a very important science, much more complex than allopathy, and it can offer a lot of advantages.
With the experience of treating cancer patients undergoing chemotherapy and radiotherapy, what we have observed that if these patients are treated with adjunct Ayurvedic treatment, the side effects of chemotherapy and radiotherapy are remarkably low. So on the basis of this experience, in 2015, we have started a case-controlled clinical trial funded by Tata Trust,
where we selected a few patients from various cancers, especially breast cancer and head and neck cancer, and applied the knowledge of Ayurveda in addition to the standard of care, which is surgery, chemotherapy, and radiation. We will be shortly coming out with a paper from this. And what we have realized is that the quality of life of these patients is far better when this treatment is given in addition to the standard allopathic treatment.
On the basis of experience of this case control study, we have done a kit of chemo recovery kit. The kit is comprising of 4 medicines which are effective in minimizing side effects of chemotherapy. On the same pattern, we have developed another kit, that is chemo recovery kit with coral. This another kit is also highly effective in managing side effects of chemotherapy. Oral cavity cancer patients suffer a lot when they are undergoing radiotherapy. So for these patients also, we have formulated a clinical trial which is funded by Tata Trust. Total 180 cancer patients were treated in this trial. Among them, 120 were treated with oral Ayurvedic medicines along with radiotherapy. 60 patients, among these 120 patients, were additionally treated with Panchakarma treatment, and 60 patients were treated with only radiotherapy. On the same pattern of chemo recovery kit, we have developed radiation recovery kit with this clinical trial. And what we have observed, that those who are undergoing Panchakarma treatment along with oral Ayurvedic medicines are benefited a lot.
If we are willing to diffuse Ayurveda and we want to make an effort in find communication with modern medicine and with the authorities, it will be a bright future. If we want to remain Ayurveda as a closed system, it will be a future in which everything will be the same and nothing will change.
Ayurveda is always contemporary. Ayurveda is always evolving. Even the great teachers of Ayurveda, like for example Charaka, has never said that Ayurveda is complete. He has always suggested that we should be continuously integrating with other systems, other sciences, and improving every day and every time and with every age. So it has continued that journey. You can say that there has been a lull probably in between during the period of colonization, when the culture or the tradition did not get the kind of attention at many times, but it had continued, and it is suddenly seeing or currently seeing a revival, not only for Ayurveda, other traditional systems are also finding a revival and importance in the current scenario. So they are important, and Ayurveda is contemporary. It is becoming better and better. It is inculcating technology advancements in information knowledge systems, etc. So it has a lot of. We can, in a way, say that Ayurveda is contemporary. But if you ask, is it completely contemporary? I can say that there is a lot of gap which we need to address and move forward.
The Vaidyaratnam Group is one of Kerala's oldest Ayurvedic practitioners. This group operates 25 hospitals, 3,000 medicinal outlets, and a medical college, producing 500 Ayurvedic products across 3 manufacturing units. It has received the Centre of Excellence Award and contributes to Ayurvedic research.
We are basically focusing on drug design and development, because we are having classical products and patented proprietary products. According to the Drugs and Cosmetic Act, we can produce classical and patented proprietary drugs. And also for Vaidyaratnam, there is specialties there, Ashtavaidya traditional products. That has been evolved from the experiential wisdom and the practices and principles of Ayurveda that is some concepts to products. Concept to product, it is the base of translation research. So we are focusing on this translation research.
Based on this literature research, we have turned it as a translator research by the integration and collaboration with TDU, like Transdisciplinary University. And we have done a lot of projects over there. and also in Vaidyarektam, many new products are emerging. And in that, we have done every efficacy aspect as well. So these are all from the this Yoga Samisha only.
Actually, I am for the past 20 years, I am working with respect to Ayurveda research. I am just wondering how this Acharya has designed the different raw material formulation in a natural way to our ecosystem or our body system to correct the system biology. For example, if we are come across the Shirabala, actually what we are doing is we are taking the Sida codifolia extract. We are doing the Avartana. I mean, the process is called Avartana for 101 times, and it will become a matrix or it will become a finished product. What actually we are doing this Avartana? We are adding milk along with this Shirabala, I mean Sida codifolia Kashaya. By using this serial enrichment process, finally it become a short chain fatty acid mixed micellar complex. This short chain fatty acid mixed micellar complex can effectively pass through the brain, and it can communicate with the different voltage gated signal channels and can bring about any cyclooxygenase or COX-1 or COX-2 mechanism. Thus, by it can reduce the inflammation in our body. You just think this type of science has been developed 5,000 years before only.
Aryavaidya Kottakkal was established in 1902. This institution prepares medicines as per classical specifications while incorporating technology to standardize production. Here, the basic cooking is done in stainless steel vessels that are of pharmaceutical grade, and the source of heat used is steam. Concentration of the formulation done by the process of vacuum evaporation, pulverization, grinding, sifting, and reduction is now done by electromechanical equipment.
AVS has hiked its investment in research. Apart from taking in-house research projects, it has been an active partner in important collaborative research projects. National centers like ICMR, CSIR, CCMB, NIMHANS, Ayush, MAHE, etc. have been its research partners, thus enhancing the Ayurveda knowledge base. AVS has been operating a special OP clinic as part of its charitable hospital facility for the past almost 2 decades. We don't call it a cancer clinic for obvious reasons.
A recent development is the modernizing of some of the classical dosages by converting them to more user-compliant forms.
The clinical arm of Ayurveda is continuously becoming more and more versatile and capable of dealing with even the emerging diseases of the new age. The pharmaceutical arm also is becoming more capable because of enhanced user compliance aided by better utilization of modern industrial technology. There is a lot of modern research taking place now with the active participation of modern scientists.
Ayurvedic pharmacy, understanding its scope, potential, purpose and principle, which ventured into the science of Ayurveda 8 decades ago. In this domain, to take it into the future, we are focusing on main areas, which are product manufacturing, research, academic and clinical practices. In all these 4 areas, we have given a lot of opportunity to young upcoming students of Ayurveda and Ayurvedic physicians. The first WHO project in Ayurveda was initiated by Ayurvedic Pharmacy in collaboration with the WHO and the ICMR, Indian Council for Medical Research, about 4 decades back in this very campus, the Ayurveda Chikitsalayam and Research Institute.
Sridhariyam specializes in Ayurvedic ophthalmology, seamlessly integrating technology into its Ayurvedic practices. Continuous clinical studies are conducted to evaluate and refine therapies, ensuring optimal patient outcomes.
The stage which is presenting with the diabetic retinopathy, what are the stage non-proliferated retinopathy, it should not progress towards macular edema or even proliferation, which means the complete bleeding on the vitreous chamber of the retina. So there are some specific Ayurvedic treatments especially systemic applications, and the other treatments like Shiroveshanam, Shirotalam, Kashayadhara, and Netra Puranam. These all type of treatments can arrest the further progression of this disease. Considering with the western part of medicine, there are some other treatments like anti-VEGF injections, which the edema, macular edema can be subsided very easily. But overall the time, 30 days to 45 days maximum, this effect may be there.
Retinitis pigmentosa, commonly known as RP, it's a genetic inherited degenerative diseases, mostly presented with photoreceptor cell loss, functions of the retinal cells, so which can lead to blindness, gradual deterioration of the vision. Patient may come to us with defective side vision or night blindness or delayed dark adaptation. When they come from bright to dark, they feel some time to adjust with that present circumstances. So mostly in Ayurvedic view, we consider this as a bija dushti, that is a defect in the sperm and ovum.
The institution utilizes equipment like atomic absorption spectrometry, high-performance liquid chromatography, and high-performance thin layer chromatography to validate the quality of raw materials and finished products.
Rosemary Odinga, the daughter of ex-Prime Minister of Kenya, she came here in the year 2019 with a complaint of defective vision. That means almost near total vision loss in both eyes. And in one eye, there was some minimal vision, that only a tunnel pointed vision was there. And she came here after a lot of other interventions taken from many other places, was affected with a kind of aneurysms in the brain and kind of stroke in the brain. Thereby, she lost her vision and her optic nerves got damaged due to that stroke impact.
Had a problem with the eyesight following an operation, and that the doctors had already completely given up, so that she would never be able to regain her eyesight again. But when she came here, with the treatment she got here, she completely recovered and regained her eyesight.
A rare disease where a patient is devoid of sweat glands by birth, affecting the twin brothers, was critical and was treated by this eminent Ayurvedic physician successfully. Another magic of Ayurveda.
അതായത് ശ്വേതഗ്രന്ഥി ഇല്ല. അത് ശ്വേതഗ്രന്ഥി ഇല്ലാതിരിക്കാൻ കാരണം എന്താണെന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ കഫത്തിന്റെ ക്ലേദം കൊണ്ട് ഈ ശ്വേതഗ്രന്ഥിയൊക്കെ അടഞ്ഞിരിക്കുകയായിരുന്നു. ആകെ തലമുടി ചകിരിമാതിരി, പല്ലില്ല, രോമകൂപങ്ങളൊന്നുമില്ല. 2-3 മാസം കൃമിയുടെ ഔഷധം തന്നെ കൊടുത്തു. എന്നിട്ടാണ് പിന്നെ ശരിക്കുള്ള ചികിത്സയിലേക്ക് തുടങ്ങിയത്. തലപൊതിച്ചില്, നവര തേപ്പ് മുതലായതൊക്കെ ചെയ്തു. സാധാരണ നവര കിഴിയിടുക, ഇത് കിഴി അവര് പറ്റില്ല, താങ്ങില്ല. അപ്പോൾ നവര പൊടിച്ച് വിരകി ചോറാക്കിയിട്ട് മേല് വാരി തേക്കുക. തലയ്ക്ക് പൊതിച്ചില്, തല പൊതിച്ചില് എന്നൊരു ചികിത്സാവിധി ഉണ്ട്, അത് ചെയ്തു. പിന്നെ ധാര ചെയ്യും, തൈലധാര, എണ്ണ കൊണ്ട് ധാര ചെയ്യുക, ധാര മുതലായതൊക്കെ ചെയ്തപ്പോൾ ആ ശ്വേതഗ്രന്ഥി കുറേശ്ശെ പ്രവർത്തിക്കാൻ തുടങ്ങി. ആദ്യം അവർക്ക് നെറ്റിയിലാണ് വേർപ്പ് പൊടിഞ്ഞത്. അപ്പോൾ അവിടെ ശ്വേതഗ്രന്ഥിയായി നമുക്ക് ഉറപ്പിക്കാം. അങ്ങനെ കുറേ ശരീരത്തിലൊക്കെ ഈ രോമകൂപങ്ങളൊക്കെ ആയി തുടങ്ങി. അങ്ങനെ 1 കൊല്ലം വരെ കഠിനാധ്വാനം ചെയ്തു എന്ന് തന്നെ പറയാം.
He was the disciple of another brilliant Ayurvedic pediatrician of Kerala named Chachara Naya, and his Bible was Arogya Kalpadrumam, an important Sanskrit text in Ayurvedic pediatrics. Burns are primarily linked to an imbalance in Pitta, as it is the dosha responsible for heat and metabolism. Ayurveda provides specialized medicinal compounds for treatment of burns, demonstrating successful recoveries. Established in 1920, SNA Aushadashala, one of the earliest Ayurvedic institutions in Kerala, conducted autism treatment trials in 2005, offering promising Ayurvedic interventions.
We started with program with them. So we used to go there, give medications from Ayurveda, complementing with physiotherapy, modern medicine, anthroposophic science. It was quite successful. And we duplicated that also in Bangalore as well as in Chennai. We started preparing some special medicines, taking our ancient books like Arogya Raksha Kalpadrupam, like Kaikulagna Rama book. And many traditional formulas we took, like Brahmidra Akshadikashaya. Many special formulas we took and we tried in the children and found quite better.
We founded the Ayurvedic Point in Italy, which is an institution that is a school and a clinic of Ayurveda. We have also a research branch. In our school, we have two main courses, one for doctors, another one for therapists, that in Italy we call technicians because of for some kind of bureaucracy. And they are courses of 4 years each. Plus, we have advanced courses in Svasta Vritta, in Prana therapy, and courses for the normal people in nutrition. So, and actually, this is essentially what we are doing. This is 25 years. We publish a lot of papers in many journals and books. We just published a book in Italy, and they are going to translate in English, that is named What Ayurveda is Not. Because, it looks like that in these days everyone knows what Ayurveda is. But it's better to know what Ayurveda is not.
2003, we officially registered in Italy as a called Ayurvedic Point and started the course. We had very few modern medical doctors, also maybe 10 or 15 therapists. We started the program. But we also had a lot of challenges because, the European climate is completely different from our climate. So many therapies we want to handle. And we want to also to have a knowledge for these people from the motherland from Ayurveda comes up. So we told them that, okay, let them come. Okay, they can have real lessons there. But same time, they should have at least 2 to 3 weeks of internship here to have training programs here, physical training, clinical training, etc. So from that onwards, every November 15 onward, every year November 15, they will come for nearly 3 weeks to India. They come here to have their practical training for the therapist, for the doctors, clinical training in the hospital, and other training like, we go to herbal systems or visit to factory, etc. So this has been continuously happening from 2003, from 2024, last November.
If you take Ayurveda as herbs, formulations, and single treatments, and you take these as objects, as tools, to be used under the framework of mind of modern medicine, that will be not very good. What is important is that modern medicine understands the framework of Ayurveda and take the whole framework of Ayurveda to do this. So the problem is, if I have to use, as a modern doctor, I have to use ashwagandha instead of another modern drug. It's better if I use the modern drug than use ashwagandha. I need to use ashwagandha if I really understand how and why ashwagandha became so important for Ayurveda. In this way, you will get the most. So for this, we need a very important action of education and also political action, because there are, not knowing one each other is the worst thing, and the communication is very important.
In Portugal, we have Ayurveda from more than 20 years now. The association is over 20 years old as well. And we have been promoting Ayurveda among the Portuguese public especially. And also we have been promoting courses for Ayurvedic students. So we have developed a course that is specific for the therapists, we call them technicians that are doing the therapies, and also a course that is for practitioners, which is a longer course. It's a 3 years course, 4,000 hours. And we have been doing that for the last 10 years for our students in Portugal.
I made a new concept a few years ago. I published many papers about this, which is the concept of collaborative medicine and science. With this concept, one of the main things of this concept is that we need to reformulate the principle of Ayurveda and of modern medicine in order to find commonalities. And through these commonalities, we can establish pathways of communication, like physics and chemistry. But it is the wrongest thing is to be opposite one with the other.
Dhanwantari Institute of Dermatology.
Pediatric dermatology. In Ayurveda, it is called Bala Visarkam. At present, the pediatric dermatology, the atopic dermatitis, we will call it Karappan in Malayalam or Bala Visarkam in Sanskrit. It is successfully managed by Ayurveda principle with simple medicine. Actually, the cause of this atopic dermatitis, Bala Visarkam, coming from the prenatal cases. Prenatal lifestyle of the mother is influencing the formation of atopic dermatitis. So, as per the age, infantile stage, adult stage, adolescent stage, in these three, we will give the medicine to mother also, along with the child. Like that, autoimmune disease, like this scleroderma, or this rheumatoid arthritis, also along with that some dermatological problem will come. Scleroderma is one of the, and SLE. All these are very much manageable by the Ayurvedic principle. In this, the chronic cases, the Rasayana therapy is very, very effective. That's my experience. So, when we are discussing with the dermatology problem, the first choice should be, or will be, or must be by Ayurveda.
India has over 77 million adult diabetics, predicted to rise to 134 million by 2045. Ayurveda offers holistic solutions through diet, lifestyle, and medicines. There is a case of an allopathic doctor prescribing Ayurvedic medicines.
Ayurvedic drugs are very good. We know that. Allopathic drugs have got a lot of side effects. And there are some conditions where allopathic drugs alone work. There are some conditions where we are helpless. And we have to depend on the Ayurvedic drugs for using in patients in allopathic practice. Now, the Ayurvedic drugs, I would say one of the drawbacks is the RCT is lacking. Not the randomized control trial is lacking. If you have RCT, proper RCT, the whole world will accept. The whole world will accept Ayurveda as a form of therapy. Now, RCT is placebo control. We did a study where we compared a drug, an Ayurvedic cream for wound healing, and instantly we found it to be useful in neuropathy pain also. It's available commercially. Now, what we did was we did a randomized control trial. We compared it with a placebo control trial, RCT. It was published in India's #1 journal, the Indian Journal of Medical Research, which belongs to ICMR. Now, this was a drug which was developed as an Ayurvedic drug, Ayurvedic cream rather, and it was used in people who had neuropathic pain and wounds in the diabetic foot. Now, it showed wonderful results. We published it. We published one paper in 2011 and the other in 2016 in IGMR. Now, this was an RCT. So, nobody has any doubts that it works.
In AVP, we had conducted another study on diabetes mellitus actually. That is in connection with the Latvia, University of Latvia. That is also getting wonderful results actually. Yet to publish the papers actually. But even the endocrinologists from UK and all, they were shocked. The truth is in Ayurveda, we have 20 types of diabetes. In modern medicine, now only 2 types. But here the 20 types has to be diagnosed by the physician only by using our technology. There we cannot use, that is on all areas concerned from the experience. Actually, now it is proven in the modern period one medical science cannot be able to serve the medical needs of the society actually.
We implemented a unique European grant on understanding the efficacy of Ayurveda formulation Jatyadi Tailam in diabetic foot ulcers, as to how the formulation works on diabetic foot ulcers through molecular mechanisms are studying the relative gene expression, which got published. And currently we are also implementing an international project on type 2 diabetes, where we are trying to study the gut dysbiosis created by metformin use, where an add-on Ayurveda therapy can improve the gut dysbiosis at the same time the acceptability of metformin.
Ayurveda stresses that women should be in good health before thinking of having children. This not only provides the baby a better chance to be born healthy, it also makes for an easier pregnancy and delivery.
Every mother, we give a herb for every month. They have to prepare a Shira Kashayam in milk. Milk is a medium, only then it works. So that's how we started. So initially there were like not much of acceptance, but slowly when people started feeling the change within themselves, they felt light, they felt more energetic, and their pregnancy was little smooth without much complications. So as this went on for the 9th month, spontaneously they started getting labor pains. Their labor duration was very short, and without much complications, they easily birth. Kashayam, Aristam and Pichu with oils. We started doing that during the labor period. So once a patient gets admitted for labor, we made it as a routine protocol. So for everyone it goes. So, but the following, see, there is no deviation from the allopathy monitoring. So we do the monitoring, we do things. Only when there is a need, there will be an intervention that is done from the allopathy side. Immediately after the delivery, we give an Aristam and Kashayam combo, and most of the patients will not have bleeding. Apart from that, if 1 or 2 has some bleeding, we give medications to stop the bleeding. That is how a journey of pregnancy, we evolved in every stage, how to integrate.
There are many patients whose all reports are normal, but still they are not able to conceive. So by Panchabhotik Chikitsa, we have given results to such patients where there is no treatment available because they are considered as unexplained infertility.
This research institute in Tamil Nadu treats people based on medical varmology. It has conducted research on 8,000 pressure points in the human body, explained by the ancient text Varma Vilbisai. They use this treatment for sports injury, speech disorders, autism, anemia, sinusitis, infertility, and more.
The allopathic doctors sent their patient to enhance, for example, only one example I say here, to enhance the ovum strength to the ovary, a kind of particular Vedic point is enhance the ovum, egg of the females. So they sent the ladies to here. We are applying that point. Then they are using their allopathic drugs also. They got best benefits. The epileptic condition, many number of allopathic doctors used in their clinics what they learned from our institute, that application of Vedic application methods.
With 65 years of Ayurvedic research, Datta Shastri developed Panchabhotik treatment, diagnosing disorders through abdominal examination, especially the kidney, spleen, and liver. This treatment is limited to some parts of India.
The scope of this treatment is not only limited for common diseases like fever, joint pain, etc., but also could be extended to various complex conditions like infertility, some of the allergies like food allergy, color allergy, chemical allergies, or even along with those autoimmune diseases like SLE or psoriasis or ulcerative colitis.
In Advashosha, because of long distance travel in a short span, the left side of the body is affected, and it affects the spleen and the left kidneys. Now the spleen on resonance, the spleen shows stony dull nodes in the mid-axillary section. So to validate this, we did a research on 100 drivers and conductors who do daily traveling for more than 100 kilometers for over 10 years. A research was conducted, and amongst them we found that 93% of the drivers showed these symptoms. On checking their abdomen by doing the Udar Parikshan, we found the stony dull nodes in the mid-axillary lines amongst 93 of them.
Few months back, one lady patient come to me for her infertility. Her right fallopian tube was removed, and she left only left fallopian tube and left ovary, and she want to conceive. For last 2 years, various tablets, various doctors, infertility consultants, they are prescribing her medicines, giving her injections for ovulation from left side. Unfortunately, not a single time she has ovulated from left ovary. So somebody told me, referred to me, and I have made a Udar Parikshan, and I found that left side of her body, that means her spleen and left kidney was affected. So that is the basic, what we can say, culprit for not ovulating from left side. So I treated with medicines acting on kidney and spleen. That is Varangakshar is one of the medicine, and Gokshuradi Gogul. And within 90 days, she got conceived.
Ayurveda எல்லாத்துக்குமே ஐடென்டிஃபை பண்ணுது, எல்லா அவயங்களுக்கும் சௌகரியம் கொடுக்கிறது Ayurveda. எல்லாம் நம்ம சரீரத்தை வாதத்திலிருந்து காப்பாற்றுறது Ayurveda. வயிறில் ஏற்படக்கூடிய ஒரு ஆசிட் பல வகையிலே வாதத்தை உருவாக்கிட்டே இருக்கும். அதே ஆசிட் கேன்சருக்கு வரும், அதே ஆசிட் ரொமேட்டேஷனுக்கு வரும், அதே ஆசிட் டெஸ்டாலஜிக்கு வரும். எல்லாத்துக்குமே அந்த கர்ப்பவாத கிரியதா, கர்ப்பத்தில் ஏற்படக்கூடிய வாத நீர், அதை ஒரு ஆசிட்னு நம்ம பிரிக்கிறோம்.
As Mark Twain in 1897 said, Benares is older than history, older than tradition, older even than legend, and looks twice as old as all of them put together. And it is believed that it is the land of King Dhanvantari, the incarnation of the Lord of Ayurveda. The Faculty of Ayurveda in BHU is one of the first leaders in the field of integrative medicine, and the university has conducted many researches. The research on Swarnamakshika Bhasma for diabetic cure is such an important one.
One PhD we have planned on this Swarnamakshika Bhasma to visualize its effect on the diabetes. And that was really very much significant. We got it on the both level, experiential as well as experimental. And I may say here today that is even the clinical. And not only one work, here is a series of works in the master degree and in the doctorate degree about the effect of the Swarnamakshika on the disease diabetes. Now we are rewriting with the basic of the respecting the fundamentals and applying the science, tools and technology in a new way. Certainly the Banaras Hindu University or our department and the many stakeholders, all the PG, PhD scholars are trying to explore something good for everyone hoping from Ayurveda.
Likewise, many important psychiatric researches have been done in the Department of Kaya Chikitsa of the university.
Apart from this, the special class of medications are described in Ayurveda, like which is grouped under the Medhya Rasayana drugs, which are promote the intellect, promote the memory, and promote the which has got twofold effect. They have got the mind promoting effect. They promote the mental faculties, like promote the intelligence, memory, and all the positive factors. At the same time, they will have a influence on the mind tranquilizing effect. They will have an influence on the treating the balancing the mind and treating the problems like the Chittodvek, Chittavasad, and the Unmad, and this is very important. These all has to be used in comprehensively. And apart from that, the Rasaushadhi medications, which are the herbo-mineral form of medications, there are some of them Rasaushadhis are also being used. Some of them we can group the Rasaushadhi also into Medhya Rasaushadhis, Medhya Rasayanas. Just as we are using the herbal medications as the Medhya Aushadhi, we can use the Medhya Rasaushadhis. They are also very useful. And many of our compound preparations, they can be a combination of the herbal drugs and the herbo-mineral drugs. That combination that is very effective. And so in this way, we are treating so many cases from the mental problems and they are getting the good results. We have published papers, it's already present. And Unmad Gaj Kesari, we have used into the cases of depression, certain applications. We have published papers. This is also a PubMed Index journal. It is already on the side. And we have published papers on the hysterical neurosis, on the mental problems. And presently we are working on the again the post-stroke depression. We are working on the severe major depressive disorder and certain kind of the generalized anxiety disorder. We are still working on this.
One of the practices which are described in Sushruta Samhita is in the treatment of anal fistula, where Sushruta has described use of a medicated ceton, what we call in Ayurveda as a Charasutra, is being used very successfully for the treatment of fistula in ano. This procedure is a very safe, effective and minimal invasive procedure where the success rate of treatment in complex fistula is around more than 97%. We have a center of excellence at Banaras Hindu University for treatment of such diseases, and the university receives a large number of patients for treatment of fistula in ano across the country and from outside also. In this technique, a medicated ceton is applied in the fistula tract, which gradually lay it open and cure the disease. The disease is cured without much damage to the sphincter muscle and scarring the area. The recurrence rate is very less in compared to the conventional surgical procedures. The recurrence rate is around 2 to 3% in complex fistula in ano, and the complications like the major complications like incontinence or stricture is practically nil. Using the property of these wound healing property of drugs, at Banaras Hindu University, we have designed a new plant-based dressing material from Panchabalkal. There are 5 plants. The extract of this drug is being used for developing a new dressing material which is biodegradable in nature and can release the drug at the wound for more than 80 hours. Hence, it does not require repeated wound dressing changes over the wound. The pain and discomfort will be much less in compared to the conventional dressing material. The drug is non-allergic to the patients and it has an excellent wound healing property, especially on infected wounds which are moderately infected.
It was happened in 2021. One person came to me, his fracture was not healed. In Sushruta Samhita and other texts is written there, fracture treatment was there. So I make many R&D that time, and 1.5 month after, I make one formula. I applied externally with the vehicle of til oil for some days, like 3 days application. And after completion of all this process, it took 1 month. The callus formation happen and unhealed bone is joint.
Acute or emergency conditions are very well treated by Ayurveda. Charaka clearly mentions in his text, Charaka Samhita, the treatment of daruna or emergency conditions. It suggests a few routes of drug administration that bypass digestion and act in an emergency and certain other modalities. Yet Ayurveda is away from emergency treatment. Why?
First, we inquire the students and the practitioner and the professor what they need to face emergency, to be confident. This was in 2019. Then we did a webinar for 4 days with 20 experts in Ayurveda treating emergency. Then recently in 2023, we did a yatra going in 7 states around India and the main universities, main doctors who treat emergency, critical care, acute cases. Now we decide with a team, with a group of Ayurvedic doctor and allopathic doctor, how to structure this project. And we think it in 3 points, 3 axes. The first one is to train Ayurveda community to face emergency case with international recommendation, to be confident and with a lot of competency. The second part is translational research from the fundamentals of Ayurveda, how to bring this to practice in emergency situation. So this will build slowly a new syllabus for emergency care in Ayurveda. And the third point is how to cooperate, because now emergency care is only in allopathy side, and they have a lot of technology. We need their support to validate the impact of Ayurveda treatment, Ayurveda management in emergency care. So with these 3 components, I think we will have a response enough solid to be accepted worldly.
Ayurveda doctors are not allowed to treat emergency conditions, and due to this, the topic of Atyeka Chikitsa, that is emergency management in Ayurveda, has not come to the forefront till the COVID time. And during COVID time, it was a situation where being a surgery resident or a postgraduate, it was a very good opportunity where we had the intention to just save the patient, irrespective of the medicine we used. So it was a very good opportunity to showcase the strength of Ayurveda medicine in emergency conditions. And I got the opportunity to treat many of my seniors friends who are modern medicine doctors. Their relatives, when they were in intensive care unit, after giving Ayurveda medicine in the verge of death, we were able to rescue such conditions who were not responding to modern medicine on ventilator. We gave many medicines sublingually through raised tube. And this opened an arena of the implications of Ayurveda treatment in emergency conditions. And even after that, post-COVID fibrosis, when patients were planned for lung transplant. So even in such conditions, Ayurveda was able to reverse the need for lung transplant within a span of 5-6 days. The pulmonary hypertension got reversed. So this showed the efficacy of Ayurveda treatment, not only in chronic conditions as we are seeing now, but also in acute conditions. And even there is a misinformation in the society and among modern medicine doctors that Ayurveda medicines, heavy metals are used in Ayurveda medicine. It can cause kidney, liver damage, etc. But when I use heavy metals like Swarna Bhasma, Abraka Bhasma, Loha Bhasma, all the Rasaushadhas or the branch of Rasa Shastra, which is very important aspect of Ayurveda. When I use such heavy metals in intensive care units, damaged kidney and liver normalized. So this has actually changed the perspective about heavy metals use in Ayurveda, which is very safe among public, among lawmakers, and among even my seniors. And I think it is very important to make policy change, like insurance for Ayurveda treatment in intensive care unit, for cancer treatment, and even the law has to change to give the permission to Ayurveda doctors to treat when we modern medicine doctors fail to treat many conditions in ICU.
We cannot prove Ayurveda through the modern science. We need to go back to see the methodology and to adapt to the today context using technology, but in the vision of Ayurveda.
Rasayana Tantra, or rejuvenation therapy, is one which deals with delaying the aging process, enhancing intellectual power and strength, prolonging life, and curing disorders. Kudi Praveshika and Vata Tapika are the two procedures for Rasayana therapy, of which the former is the principal method. The one who enters into the Kudi, or house, will stay for a prescribed period in the innermost dark chamber and should take appropriate Rasayana by considering one's nature and lifestyle. Charaka, Susruta, and Vagbhada have all described Rasayana treatment in detail in their texts.
സാധാരണ ഓർഗൻ റീപ്ലേസ്മെന്റ് ഡോണർ വേണം. this is equal to body replacement but without donor. അങ്ങനെയാണ്. ഔഷധങ്ങളെ ഭക്ഷണ രൂപത്തിൽ ഉപയോഗിക്കുക. അതാണ് അതിൻ്റെ ഒരു പ്രത്യേക രീതി. ഭക്ഷണം വേറെ ഇല്ല. ഭക്ഷണം തന്നെ ഔഷധമായി മാറും. അപ്പോൾ മഹാഭൈഷജ്യം അത് തന്നെയാണ് ഇത് ഉപയോഗിക്കുന്നത്. 2011 ഏപ്രിൽ 4 ആണ് ശരിക്കും ഔദ്യോഗികമായിട്ട് ഇതിൽ പ്രവേശനം നടത്തിയ യുഗൽ സരൺജി മഹാരാജ്, മൗണ്ട് ആബുവിലൊരു മഹന്താണ്. അദ്ദേഹമാണ് ആദ്യമായിട്ട് ഇവിടെ നിയമപ്രകാരം വിധിപ്രകാരം 40 ദിവസം പൂർത്തീകരിച്ച് പുറത്തിറങ്ങിയിരുന്നു. 91 വയസ്സ് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട്. പിന്നീടുള്ളത് ഒരു ചെക്ക് റിപ്പബ്ലിക്കിലത്തെ ഒരാളാണ്, കൊല്ലാച്ചക്ക് ആൻ്റണി വന്നു. അയാൾക്കും കുറേ മാറ്റങ്ങൾ വന്നു. പിന്നെ ഒരു ബ്രണ്ടൻ മെക്കനട്ട് പറഞ്ഞ ഒരു ബ്രിട്ടീഷുകാരനാണ്. പിന്നെ ഒരു കനേഡിയൻ ലേഡി ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു, ലളിത. അതിനുശേഷം കുറച്ച് ഇന്ത്യക്കാരുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. പിന്നെ കുറച്ച് പേര് പൂർണ്ണമായിട്ട് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റാണ്ട് ഇറങ്ങിയവരുണ്ട്. പിന്നെ ഒരു ശശി ഗുലാട്ടി എന്നൊരു സ്ത്രീ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു. പിന്നെ ഒരു രമൺ ബായ് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുള്ളൊരു അഹമ്മദാബാദുകാരൻ 78ാമത്തെ വയസ്സിൽ. അദ്ദേഹം വളരെ ശ്ലാഘനീയമായിട്ട് കഴിച്ചു കൂട്ടി. പിന്നെ ഒരു അമേരിക്കൻ ഒരു വിൽഫോക്സ് എന്ന ആൾ, അദ്ദേഹം പേര് മാറ്റി കേദാർ എന്നുള്ള പേരാക്കി. അദ്ദേഹം ഏറ്റവും കൂടുതൽ ദിവസം ഇരുന്ന ആൾ, 151 ദിവസം.
Glucose tolerance was excellent. Serum insulin was absolutely in the normal section, and hormonal developments, especially testosterone and all. And DEXA scan that is mainly for fat evaluation we have done, and visceral subcutaneous fat protein that we were finding. And most importantly, to make sure that he has retarded his aging for the body, is Doppler study on the carotid arteries. We found that carotid arteries thickness has been reduced to a person of 40 years age.
Around 761 applications for patents. And we have got almost about 70 patents already given. Now that number is growing. So what I am trying to say is that all the scientists who are now into public health, who are into research, all academic institutions, they're all focusing on how we can develop scientific papers, evidences, go and get patents, innovate, be able to bring in safety, talk about all safety concerns in terms of Ayush, based on very well researched, kind of data which has come out. Like they used to talk about India being the hub of, spurious medicines. But today we have data with us which shows that we don't even have 0.04% spurious medicines in the supply chain.
In my 50 years of medical practice, I've referred quite a few patients for Ayurvedic treatment and who had excellent recovery, especially from immunological diseases like rheumatoid arthritis. Today, India is delivering healthcare at international standards in allopathic care for wellness of patients. I'm particularly happy that the government of India has rolled out special division for Ayurveda, making its efforts to bring holistic approach and research in management of diseases and care for patients. I'm delighted that Apollo Ayurved, a part of the Apollo Hospital Group, is spearheading a precision care and approximate integrative medicine across the country.
Sanjeevanam Ayurvedic Hospital in Kochi, Kerala, has integrated Ayurveda brilliantly with modern medicine. For each and every specialized treatment, they have a separate wing with efficient doctors. The best example for the modern medical world.
أنا اسمي ناصر ولدي طفلة اسمها رهف وعمرها 5 سنين ونصف وكانت تعاني من عدم الوقوف وعدم المشي وعدم الاتزان وعندما أتينا إلى هنا كانت لا تستطيع الوقوف حتى لمدة 15 ثانية وعندما أتينا إلى هنا وبعد إقامة لمدة شهر ونصف أصبحت تقف لمدة 3 دقائق وأكثر والاتزان بدأ يظهر تدريجيا وكانت تجربة مميزة فعلا.
As in India, there are many Ayurvedic conferences happening all over the world. One such is the International Symposium that occurs in Germany and Switzerland every year.
We have a lot of participants for our school trainings and we have a high interest from patients for Ayurveda here in Switzerland. But it all started in Germany with our academy there 30 years back, and we have a huge campus there in Germany itself with more than 300 square meters in the countryside, where students coming and staying at the campus to learn Ayurveda, including to experience the nutrition, the food, but also hands-on for massage and therapy and get deep training and a lot of practical experiences there at the school with an attached hospital that we have there in Germany.
The WHO is working with organizations across the globe and member states across the globe to see whether we can establish clinical centers where data can be collected in the most appropriate manner. We are using the International Classification of Diseases codes for that. So what is understood as a particular disease and its intervention in, let us say, Brazil, can also be understood in India, or what is understood in India can also be utilized in China or Australia or Ethiopia or Nigeria. So this possibility is evolving and we are trying to facilitate that by understanding what kind of data to be collected, how to be analyzing it, and how it can be available, made available for all countries to use. So it's a great, exciting time for all traditional medical systems and especially for systems like Ayurveda.
This clinical evidence is again a myth. What they say evidence-based, it is not actual evidence-based, but trained evidence-based medicine. They themselves have created some trend, some parameters for their purpose. They may not be fit for Ayurveda. You cannot measure water in centimeter and meter. You cannot measure a cloth in liter or centiliter. Unit are different. So similarly, you cannot assess. Up to some extent you can do, but not always. And Ayurveda is not just randomly written. What they say evidence. Now all journals, they are paid journals. You pay money, your article is published. So this is more honest than our rishis, those who have written the things without any bias, without any interest, personal interest. They have not written just randomly. They did not have any personal interest.
1,500 publications, what we did during last 5 years, and how this practice-based evidence and evidence-based practices being converted, what is the way of integration, various model. As we have the establishment at a Statue of Unity as a wellness model, we have our Goa Center as a medical tourism, undergraduate, postgraduate program, and also we have our center at Lal Bahadur Shastri, Mussoorie, that is administration, and Supreme Court, Apex Court of India. So how this integration is achieved not only with the conventional medicine, but with the science and technology to understand the molecular mechanism of this age-old medicine. If we really want to make it contemporary, we really have to have the integration with the technology as well.
We should have this confidence that Ayurveda is right. Science is still in developing phase. So one thing which is in developing phase, with that we cannot compare the wisdom which is already advanced. And that will bring confidence. Then all challenges will be no challenge.
Modern medicine is also using mercury. Most of the serums are preserved by mercury. You just look into the TT injection ampule. In the label, you can see that it is preserved by thimerosal. This thimerosal is nothing but thiomercuric salicylic acid. Thiomercuric salicylic acid is nothing but an organic compound of mercury. Organic compound of mercury is hazardous than inorganic compound of mercury. This organic compound of mercury, thimerosal contained medicine, they are injecting. They are administrating the drug subcutaneously, not by orally. Even though the arguments is coming against Ayurveda.
Ayurveda is incredibly scientific in its own essence, being the expression of nature. The only thing is that we have to understand it properly. The evidence of Ayurveda is everywhere, it's in front of our eyes. We have only to give to this evidence a shape. And in these days, we have to give a shape that is understandable to the modern science. And the way in which this science can be understandable to the modern science is very complicated because modern science is not so inclusive like Ayurveda. I would say that it's exclusive. Modern medicine, modern science, modern medicine can be explained by Ayurveda. But modern medicine cannot explain Ayurveda. We can put this in this way. Ayurveda, since it's based on darshana, and darshana are in some way comparable, grossly, to physics, to how the physics describe reality, we can say that Ayurveda is based on physics. Modern medicine is based on chemistry. You can explain chemistry with physics, but you cannot explain physics with chemistry. But this does not mean that they cannot work together. This does not mean that modern medicine is wrong. Modern medicine, it looks things at another level. Ayurveda looks at the more inclusive level. And in fact, myself as a doctor and as a scientist, I found in Ayurveda my complete fulfillment as a scientist and as a doctor and as a human being.
If we are talking everything on the basis of evidence, I have a simple question. Every year, how many Western medicines are getting banned? Due to that product, how many crores of new patients are generated? Who is responsible for that?
Now, the government has banned 156 fixed-dose combination drugs with immediate effect on concerns over risks to users and their availability of safer alternatives. Now, Ekta is here to tell us the rationale behind the ban and the impact that it could have on consumer and pharma companies.
Viewers, we begin with our big story, which is that more than 50 drugs, 53 in number in fact, including basic drugs, everyday use drugs, such as calcium and vitamin D3 supplements, anti-diabetes pills, high blood pressure medications, have failed quality tests by India's drug regulator. In its monthly drug alert list, the Central Drug Standards Control Organization, or CDSCO, has declared 53 drugs as not being of standard quality and has issued such an NSQ alert.
More than 50 medicines that we consume in our daily life have flouted drug regulation norms and have tested not good quality and standard quality. In fact, this is the information that has been given out by the Standard Drug Controller General of India themselves after they conduct routine inspections of a lot of medicines which we consume in our daily life.
Now,
some of the biggest names are, of course, pantoprazole, Pan-D, medicines that are used for anti-diabetics, medicines that are used for high blood pressure, in fact, medicines that are used for stomach.